Every serious lifter since the start of time has always said to do more volume because it's going to equal more gains. But recently I'm after cutting my sets in half and I've seen more progress than I ever have. This is the 2-set method, and here is why less is actually more. You would think that doing more will build muscle faster, but the truth of it is, the more sets you do, the less effective each set becomes comparatively to the last set. And that's the hidden cost no one in the fitness industry ever seems to talk about. Your first set is by far your most potent and effective set. Every set after that is going to give you a little bit less stimulus than the set before it. But the annoying part about that is you're also going to get a little bit more fatigue than the previous set. It's an inverse relationship between the returns and the drawback. Past a certain point, more work will give you less returns, but at a higher cost. For this example, just think about a sprinter, right? When are they most likely to run their fastest? Obviously at the start of training when they're the freshest. After their first sprint, they're not going to be tired. But after their last sprint, which will probably be their slowest one, they're going to be exhausted, less effective, more fatigue accrued. The gym isn't really much more different to that. I would see lifting weights as more a sprint than something you have to pace yourself for. And this meta-analysis right here showed exactly that. Set 1 is the most effective. Set 2 will give you some really solid returns. But from set 3 onwards, there is a clear decline in the amount of returns you will get from every set after that point. So here's the thing, you're not just doing 2 sets to maximize the returns from that exercise. You're doing 2 sets to maximize the returns from your whole workout. You're getting amazing returns for them 2 sets, but you're also not getting greedy and you're making your next exercise more effective. But if 2 sets is the sweet spot, the question is, how do we make them 2 sets as effective as possible? The 2-set method is not about doing less. It's about getting 2 opportunities per exercise to make every single rep as effective as possible. Because here's what most intermediate lifters never realize. You don't actually progress by doing more work. You progress by getting better at the work you're currently doing. You walk up to an exercise fully focused. Your form is absolutely immaculate. You take the set to within 1 or 2 of failure with complete intent and effort. Then you rack it up knowing you gave everything. Then you rest, reset, and do it 1 more time. And that's it. 2 shots. Make them both count. Think about someone who just takes up golf. They're better off just going to the range, hitting 100 balls, having a bit of fun, and just doing that every day will improve them very quickly. But a tour pro would be much better off going to the range and hitting 100 shots exactly like they would if they were in a tournament. More reps will help beginners. Perfect practice makes perfect for everyone else. And once you're in that intermediate to advanced stage, it's not about doing more and more. It's about making everything you do count. I used to do 3 or 4 sets per exercise, and what I found was the first 2 sets I was essentially warming up for the last 2 sets, which meant the first 2 weren't as effective because I was saving myself, and the last 2 sets weren't as effective as they could have been because I'd already burned energy to get to them. And could I have pushed all 4 sets really hard? Yes, of course I could have. But what about every other exercise in that session? 4 genuinely hard sets in 1 exercise is incredibly taxing, and that fatigue will bleed into all your other exercises throughout the workout. More is not always better. Better is better. So if 2 focus sets is the method, the question is, what does that look like in practice? And why do I think this method will stick around for the long term? Here's what makes a 2-set method so powerful. Every single set counts. Every single rep counts. You don't have the luxury to throw volume at your quality issues. And that constraint and pressure is actually a secret weapon that most people never put into their training. When you only have 2 sets to make progress, 1 bad set where you're not locked in is gonna cost you. So before you even begin that set, you're gonna be focused. There's a sense of urgency. There's a moment of solitude before you even begin the set. And you have to show up for it. You've no other option if you want to make progress. Imagine you only had a job where you worked 2 hours a day, but they had to be the most productive 2 hours possible or else you'd be fired. You would spend the time before you started getting ready mentally, and then while you were there, you would maximize the amount of work you could get done in that time. And then afterwards, you would rest and you would recover and get ready for the next day. It's the exact same with the gym and the 2-set method. Since leaning into this method, I've gotten stronger every single week. I leave sessions feeling fresher, and I made some big progress in how I actually look and feel. I've even experimented with adding a 3rd set to some exercises, and after a week or 2, I've actually pulled them off my workout again. The workouts just didn't feel as good for me. They just didn't flow the same way because you only really have so much in the tank, and we can only operate at maximum capacity for so long before performance drops and the quality of our sets go down the toilet. Treat your energy in the gym like high output sprints, not a conditioning session where you're trying to destroy yourself. Stimulate, don't annihilate. If you want to try this yourself, I put together a 2-set method workout plan. It's got the exact exercises, the set number, which is 2 obviously, and the rest times. The link is in the description. Download it and try it now for free, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.